Welcome to the latest episode of Talking Season. I'm your host, Ryan McNeil. I'm thrilled to be joined by Miami Hurricanes guard, Harlond Beverly. Harlond, thanks for your time today.
I appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
First question for you. How and when did you fall in love with basketball?
At a young age, probably around 5 to 6, probably first grade. My mother actually played in high school. She likes to say she was pretty good. I don't think she was good just by how she just moves in regular life. I don't think she was good. But shout out to her though. But she would take me to the YMCA just to play around, and I feel like that really planted a seed in me just at a young age, and I grew and I really enjoyed it.
I was reading online doing some research, and there was a comp to you and Malik Beasley. Who are some players that you try and model your game after?
Some players I try to model my game after would be people like Drew Holiday, just kind of a shooting guard, like really whatever you need from the guard spot. If you need him to assist, score, or just simply just lock up the other team's just match up, I would feel like that would be somebody I would try to model my game after, just from a size and utility standpoint.
So that defensive mentality, that lockdown mentality, where'd you get that from?
I got it from when I went to Montverde Academy. When you grow up in your little town or area, and you're like a Division I caliber of player, regardless of the level, even just college basketball, just in general, you usually score the most points. Whether that's D3, NAIA, all of those. Like, if you're a college player, you're going to score the most points. And when I went to Montverde, I was surrounded with professionals just in a high school body at the time. And I chose to have defense just be something that I can just hang my hat on, that maybe I can set myself apart, because at that time, like, everybody can score on the team now. That's everybody was that prolific number one scorer wherever they came from. So I feel like that was really kind of just the time when I had a change in mentality of how I was going to approach that side of the ball.
Who were some NBA players that you love watching?
Of course, anybody my age. I loved watching LeBron growing up. I was probably about 5 years old when he first came into the league. So that was my Michael Jordan. I didn't get to see much of Michael Jordan. Very little bit of Kobe that I remember. So like my all-time great that from a young age was LeBron. Since then, Kevin Durant, I love watching Kevin Durant, just being that size and so fluid in movement, so skillful. He was one. And then CJ McCollum is my all-time favorite to watch, just because of how just shifty he is. Not the most athletic, not the most just physically gifted, but very smart, and just his footwork and movement is kind of unmatched in my opinion at the guard spot.
Your coach, Coach Laranega, is a coach I've long admired from far. You have the pleasure, you have the opportunity to play for him. What are some aspects that you love about playing for Coach Laranega?
He preaches confidence, and he also works very, very hard to help you grow your confidence, instill confidence in you. Like, he's really big on not even just in basketball, just in life, just believing in yourself, just knowing that if you put your mind to something and you actually work really hard for it, that you can obtain basically anything that you try to do. And he even exhibits that, like, just walking around here and how he carries it. Like, he doesn't just tell you that you should do one thing without doing it himself. And I feel like in that aspect, he's just a very good just influence and leader on all of us.
You had a chance, I believe, to go to two SEC schools, Alabama and Georgia, and you ended up at an ACC school at Miami. Why was Miami and battling the ACC? Why was that the best fit for you?
The best fit for me here at Miami was simply because of I wanted to go to a school that had older players at the time. Now I'm one of the older players, but being a freshman, it was very, very important to me to go somewhere that had older players to begin with, just because you learn a lot by, of course, getting thrown into a fire as a young player. But I feel like it was very important for me to come watch the older players that were before me, and that was they had at the time we had probably 5 to 8 people that were either fifth year seniors or just a regular senior. And that really played a big role in me committing here. Also, Coach L and Coach Caputo at the time was here, were great just through the recruitment process. And they really just embodied everything that I wanted in a coaching staff.
There are so many historic programs in the ACC. There
Mhm.
are so many intense, lively, crazy fans. During your career so far at Miami, what's a game situation that kind of pops out to you that's like, wow, those fans were really adding to that game atmosphere?
You saying like which school has that effect?
Yeah, which school kind of gets you a little extra hyped, or maybe when
Uh-huh.
you're sitting in the locker room, you're like, man, that the environment was just off the hook tonight.
I'm gonna give you one ACC school and one non-ACC school.
Okay.
So, of course, Duke. Just the crazies in the background trying to touch your jersey and stuff. Just them. They're very boisterous. They're just that environment's very crazy. This year we got to go their arena and get the win, which was pretty cool. The non-ACC school would have to be Illinois. I know they no, I don't feel like people really understand like Big Ten school atmospheres unless you go to one. Because the atmospheres are something you can really see on TV. So like watching film, we couldn't feel the atmosphere in the background of like the people, like just people there at the game. And I feel like Illinois was great. Another ACC school would have to be North Carolina. North Carolina's fans always bring it, and those those three places have really like been in the lane of their own so far, me being in college.
One of the tricky questions I like to talk to athletes about, I know it's a tricky one, but it's been really helpful for some young high school athletes to hear how college athletes have dealt with adversity. And once they get through on the flip side, how it made them stronger as an athlete. And then what I think, even more importantly, as a young man in your case. So when's the time that you've dealt with adversity and it's helped you grow on or off the basketball court?
So biggest adversity that I've went through in college so far was I had back surgery this year, which was kind of a minor surgery, but it's still going on. It's taken me so far 5 months to recover, and I'm still going through that. And the thing about adversity is that you can't run from it. It's gonna come. So my approach, which isn't the only approach, but my approach was just to take it head on. And I feel like that just made it easier for me just welcoming the adversity, because I didn't I didn't let it affect me mentally, knowing the fact that I couldn't do anything but just take it head on. So when it came to this specific injury, every single day kept a positive attitude. Um, it's people there to help you. So I really exercised all my options, and just people there that are in that position to make sure that when adversity does hit, they show you the right direction, whether it's a coach, a trainer, in my sense, family, friends, all that. Like, just adversity will come. So I just feel like it's best to just take it head on. But it's also okay to allow adversity to affect you, because I feel like that shows that you care. But at the same time, you can't run away from it. You can't get away from adversity. So when it hits, all you can really do is just take it head on.
Something I love seeing on your Twitter was you being back on a basketball court. I think it was a week or so ago. The reaction that you had to that moment, how it brought your spirits up, and just seeing teammates and fans interact with that tweet. How great was it just to be back on the basketball court and with your teammates again?
It was great. You know, it's really fun watching your teammates win. It's a lot more fun when you like are playing with them, of course. But it felt amazing just to be back with them. Like, they all were really happy for me, all very welcoming. I really appreciate all that. Just people hyping you up when you come back, just to be excited, just to share the court with you. So I was very grateful to have them to share that moment with me.
You shared a Drew Hanlon tweet about needing more basketball people. Basketball. Yeah. I love that. I'm based out of Toronto, and that resonated with me.
Yeah.
Because Canada basketball media drives me bonkers. There are so many people in the media who haven't even played pickup, let alone high school basketball. Yeah. So their knowledge of the game is so low, but then they're the ones on TV, on radio, should be educating basketball fans. So where did that come from for you? I know it hit a nerve in a good way for me. And then a follow-up would be, are you hoping once you hang up your Nikes, or your Adidas in this case, sorry, are you hoping to get into media or coaching? So tell me why that Drew Hanlon tweet hit a nerve for you as well. And then what your plans are to be involved with basketball once your playing career eventually comes to a close.
So regarding just more basketball people in basketball. So when I saw the tweet, when I think about basketball people, is just not being a professional, not being a collegiate athlete, even high school, but just somebody that really grew up around the game. Like, watched the game from a young age, not somebody that just, it's a job to do, I'm going to go do it. Like, people that really appreciate how beautiful basketball can be and as an art, and that, like, it's also these people's jobs. And it's so rare that like you get millions of people commenting on how bad like a doctor is. Like, that just doesn't happen. And when it's people, it makes it worse for me when it's people that's not like really like credited or knowledgeable about a specific subject, that have really strong opinions on said subject. So with that tweet, you have to have specific resumes to get jobs. And I feel like it's not a specific resume you need to have to speak about basketball, but it's a certain understanding about just it's not just about making and missing shots. It's something basketball people understand. Just it's
you have to have spent time in a locker room. You have to have spent time in an empty gym in July and August with nobody watching, and you're sweating and you're grinding it out. You have to have an understanding of all that comes in, not just on game night. What started, like you're saying. So yes, we are a like mind. But when you eventually stop playing, would you want to get into media? Would you want to get into coaching?
Right.
You obviously love the game. So how would you want to stay involved with it?
Yeah, I would love to coach. My dream is to be a head college coach and win a national championship. Um, yeah, I would love to coach after I'm done playing. Just this past year, not being able to play, I was able to see how just talking to people can really affect their game in a positive or negative way, and that really was interesting and sparked like a love for just communicating to people through basketball. And I would love to do that through coaching, just to help people reach reach like, what is it called? You know what I'm trying to say? Reach their potential. So
Perfect.
that's what I would really love to do that.
I don't know if it was the season Kyle Lowry won a championship or it was the season
Uh,
before, but he had a major injury where he was sidelined for a big chunk of that season.
mhm,
And he begged the coaches to be part of the coaches' meetings.
mhm,
And he, for his last few seasons here in Toronto, he talked about how he got a bigger appreciation for what the coaches do. Like, obviously, as a professional player, you have an appreciation for the coaches, but he had another level of appreciation for what the coaches do to prepare for games, all that kind of stuff. And then it also helped him grow as a player. To
mhm.
tie that into you, when you were injured with the back injury, obviously you had a lot of rehab stuff, but were you able to join some coaches meetings? Were you able to have a different relationship with your coaches when you weren't playing in games?
I wasn't allowed to join the coaches meetings, but me and Coach Caputo would spend a lot of time watching film, and he just taught me a lot of the coaches aspect. Like, um, he's big on like statistics, so he would show me like how to read Kim Palm and just stuff like that, like stuff that as players you're not worried about that. You're worried about going out there and winning, and he really was able to just inform me and just teach me about like more of the not mental, because when I think of mental in basketball, I think about like being tough and smart. But he taught me about like the strategic side of the X's and O's, but also just playing mind games with people. He taught me a lot when it comes to just strategy in basketball, and that was I really appreciated that because I've never had anybody like teach me things about basketball like that. I've been taught how to do layups, dunks. That was very different, and I really appreciated that.
I hope this comes across respectful because I mean it respectfully. Do you feel maybe before you're playing checkers on a basketball court and now you're looking forward to playing chess this upcoming season? Just a whole other level of
Yeah, 100%. You, it was even games since I had a back injury. I sat behind the bench because they didn't want me to get bumped or like standing up and down a lot. And I kind of got to watch like as a fan, but also just as a player, just taking a step back and really watching your teams and you know the schemes and stuff. It's different when you go to a game and you don't really know. You're just watching the game. But I knew exactly what our scheme was, exactly what they wanted to do. And that also gave you just a different viewpoint that I really feel like will be beneficial for me this upcoming season. And just having that broader look to the game.
thank you for your time today. Greatly appreciated. I hope your health holds up so you can take all this knowledge you've gained this past year, apply it, and I hope that you and Miami have an amazing season.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much.